Hello, today I'd like to take some time to answer a question which is asked quite often by meditators who have undertaken practice under my guidance, or also from meditators, people who have come to be interested in meditation via the internet, and people who have watched my videos on how to meditate have asked. They've asked it in many different forms, but in the end it comes down to, I think, can be all summed up under one question, and this is, are all meditations the same, or is the meditation which I teach something which can be used with other meditations? Is it congruous with other meditative styles? Is it something which can be applied to other meditation techniques? And thus the question, are all meditations, do they all fall along the same line? And so I would categorize meditation into two broad categories. And the first category is what we call tranquility meditation. It's meditation which helps the mind to become peaceful and calm, without any understanding, necessarily understanding about ourselves or the world around us. It's simply any method which brings the mind to feel peaceful and calm. It could be reading the Bible, or it could be reciting the name of Jesus or the name of Buddha. It could be looking at a candle flame or reciting the mantra Om, or any number of different meditations which exist out there today, which we see in the various religious traditions and outside of religious tradition as well. The other type of meditation is called Vipassana meditation, or insight meditation. It means meditation which leads the person who practices it to see clearly about the things inside them and the things in the world around them. And it doesn't necessarily lead the person to feel peaceful and calm during the time that they're practicing it. In fact, people who are practicing to see clearly often have to touch upon things which make them feel uncomfortable, things which they would emotionally rather not touch, which their feeling tells them is something that they should not touch, something that they should avoid and should run away from. But they can see over time that by running away from these things, it only gets worse, and the problem is never actually healed. So when they reach this point, they decide to undertake insight meditation, and this is meditation which leads a person to see clearly about oneself and about the world around oneself. So how are these two different meditations to be distinguished? The first way to distinguish these two types of meditation is that by the object which they take. Now, I said about insight meditation that it gives understanding about ourselves and the world around us. So the object for insight meditation has to be ourselves and the world around us. Those things which exist for real inside of ourselves, and those things which exist for real in the world around us. And they also have to be real things. For instance, we can't focus on in the human body, we can't focus on our swimming bladder, which we don't have, or our gills, or something in the world around us. We couldn't focus on a horned rabbit, a rabbit with horns, or something. It has to be something which is real. And when it all comes down to it, we focus on the things which are ultimately real. If we want to get down to what is ultimately good and ultimately bad, and understand the difference, and come to do away with the things which are no good inside of us, which are causes for suffering for us, we have to focus on what is ultimately real. So even all of our organs or so on, we have to instead focus on the senses, the things which we can experience as we experience them in the present moment. This is the object of insight meditation. In tranquility meditation, the distinction is that tranquility meditation takes a concept as the object. In tranquility meditation, you can't take an ultimate reality as an object, for the simple reason that it won't make you calm. And this is because three things. One, it is impermanent. It's changing all the time. If you're focusing on something that's changing, you don't feel peaceful and calm right away. You tend to be upset and try to look instead for something which is steady, which is sure. And unfortunately, there's nothing in this world which is steady and which is sure. So we pick a concept instead. We pick a person or a deity or an idol, or we pick a conceptual object which we create in our mind. The next thing is that when we take the world around us as our object, it is unsatisfying. And if we're going to make the mind peaceful and calm, we have to find something which is satisfying. And unfortunately, in the world, in ourselves and in the world around us, there's nothing real which is completely satisfying, because it's impermanent. There's nothing which we can see lasts. Everything is changing. When we see things, it comes and goes. When we hear things, they come and go, and so on and so on. And finally, we can't take things which are real as the object in the practice of tranquility meditation, because things which are real are not under our control. And if we're going to feel peaceful and calm, we have to find things which are under our control. Now, unfortunately, there's nothing which is real in this world, in ourselves or in the world around us, which is under our control. We can't force our body to be the way we want it, or our mind to be the way we want it. We certainly can't force the world around us to be the way we want it. And so if we're going to simply feel peace and calm, sit down and find some space where we feel peaceful and calm, we have to take a conceptual object as our meditation object. Now, what I teach and what I've been trying to teach here is, maybe unfortunately for some people, insight meditation, not tranquility meditation. So if for those people looking for tranquility meditation, a way to just feel peaceful and calm during the time that you're sitting, and temporarily, and something which you have to leave behind when you stand up and go back to your life, then this is probably not for you. But for people looking to come to understand themselves and the world around them, and come to ultimately be free from stress and worry, and to ultimately find real peace and real happiness, both in meditation and in their normal everyday life, then perhaps insight meditation is for them. The second way to discern the difference between these two types of meditation is in the results. So tranquility meditation, you will feel peaceful and calm temporarily. And when you stop practicing, you'll feel the effects fade away, and you'll go back to your everyday normal life without really having gained any verifiable benefit until you go back to practice again. And so much you practice, so much you keep your state of peace and calm. With insight meditation, the result is understanding about things which are suffering, and the ability to stay with things which are a cause for suffering and stress and upset, so that when these things arise in ourselves or in the world around us in our daily life, we're able to deal with them. We're able to deal with them in a rational, a peaceful, a calm, and a patient way, without having to sit down on a meditation mat. Because the object of our meditation is everyday real life. And so we come to understand, and we come to become comfortable, even with excruciating pain or intensely difficult situations. This is a second way to distinguish between these two types of meditation. So in brief, I'd like to propose this as an answer to the question, first of all, what is it that I'm teaching when I say how to meditate, and how this might differ, or how to distinguish this type of meditation from other types of meditation which you might find in the world today. And I've gotten some questions about other types of meditation, and I'd have to say I'm not up on very many different meditation techniques. If you want to explain to me clearly what a certain meditation technique is, and ask me how does this fit into the Buddhist scheme of what is this type of meditation and that type of meditation, then I could try to answer. And you're certainly welcome to contact me on YouTube or on my weblog, or via email if you have my email, or so on and so on. And I'd be happy to answer. If you have any other questions, please ask. I'm happy to do these videos. Thank you for the great responses, and hope to hear from you again. All the best.